Hello guys, and welcome to Till Vacuum Do Us Part. We're moving on to phase 2 of our back patio makeover. Now if you're new here, I am going to give a real quick recap of everything we've done so far, but if you have any questions or want to know pricing or details, definitely head back and watch that video. I'm going to leave the link down below in my description box, and I'd also love for you to subscribe and join my channel. I do lots of cleaning, DIY, home makeovers, all sorts of fun stuff, but now let's get straight into today's video. Okay, let's get you caught up on what you've missed so far. We went ahead and painted our patio ceiling blue because we heard it helps with like wasps and birds, and it definitely has. It makes the space feel larger too. We also went ahead and spent the money and extended our concrete patio just because it was really small and we couldn't do much on it. This is the best decision we've ever made. I wasn't too sure about it, but I'm so thankful we did it now. And then we went ahead and took some concrete of our own and made these flower pot posts so that we could hang lights back and forth. Like I said, this is all in that video if you want to check out details. We added our dining room table outside because we replaced it inside with like a round one. I have a whole video on that as well. And then here is us hanging the lights, and that gets you caught up on phase 1 of our patio makeover. We were so happy with the way phase 1 came out, but we weren't finished. We knew we still wanted to make a few more tweaks to it, but we were so tired. Sometimes it's okay to go ahead and pause and regroup before you start over. So the first thing we're going to be doing this time is hanging a TV outside. We've been wanting to do this for so long, but it just didn't make sense with the sectional out there with the way the furniture faced. But here are all the tools we're going to be using to hang this TV. We did find it on Amazon and it was affordable, so you can definitely check out that link down below in my description box. We went ahead and got one that we could like pull out and kind of move the TV different directions just in case there was a glare outside because of the sun. And then I wanted to show you the spot we were kind of thinking about. Like I said, I've wanted a TV here for so long, and it finally just made sense with the table and our fire pit out there, so we are so excited to get this project started. Here is Chase putting the brackets on the back of the TV. This is super easy to do. I promise, ladies, you can even do it. So to save money on this project, we are just using our old TV. We've had it in Savannah's playroom, but she never really used it, and if anything, it bugged her because she didn't have a spot to put all of her dolls. So she's actually excited to see it going, and it's getting so much more use outside. So you can definitely buy a new TV if you have it in the budget, but for us, we just thought, hey, let's save some money. This one's not being used, and so it just worked out for us and our budget. And then here's Chase. We're gonna go ahead and set the back of it on there so we can kind of see how far it is, so we know where to put the holes of like how far it has to hang down. So he's gonna go ahead and remove that bless sign, but don't worry, it's gonna be coming back in another spot because I love that sign so much. We made it together in a video. And now we're just kind of eyeing it. He's going to hold it up, and we want to figure out how high we want it, how low we want it. And on this side of our house, it is actually siding, so I just counted how many boards down I liked it. And then he found some studs, and we're going to go ahead and get this hooked onto the wall. So when you're hanging anything, especially a TV, you want to make sure it's level. So Chase was just checking it. Most projects come with these cheap levels and then you can just hang onto them. But here is how it looks against the wall. So our siding is different levels. So he added a washer on the bottom. It did come with that. So it was nice and flush with the wall. And now we're going to go ahead and get this hung up so we can see what it looks like. Hanging a TV is actually super easy. I think people are worried it's going to take all day or it's going to be super hard, but it's very affordable and easy to do. We've done it with all the TVs in our house, and I just feel like it's so much nicer and looks better in the space. So definitely do not be scared to hang your TVs. So while Chase is working on some of the wiring or cords up there, I'm going to go ahead and just do a quick tidy up. After we get done with the project, I like to clean up just a little bit, otherwise things will get out of control very quickly. So here we wanted to show you that we're going to be putting the cord up to the ceiling because we already have an extension cord up there. We thought we were going to go down, but we just think it's going to be better and then kids can't grab it or trip on it if it goes up. So I don't want a black cord going up, so I'm going to go ahead and spray paint it. So this is the can of paint I currently have. I always try to keep one out in my garage, and when it runs out I just buy another one. I also taped up the prongs so you can see here. I know I've showed this a lot in my videos, but we like to spray paint extension cords or wires just so they blend in. If this was the inside of the house, we would definitely cut a hole and tuck that cord in behind the wall, but when it's outside on brick and siding, it's just not possible, and we don't want to take on that much work. So I just feel like the easiest thing to do is go ahead and spray this TV cord white. So then it just kind of disappears. At first you notice it, and after that you really don't notice it anymore just because it blends in with the wall, and this is so cheap and easy to do. Okay, we're going to go ahead and let that dry for a little while, and we're going to head on to the next project, which is repainting the side table. I almost got rid of this guy. It's been sitting out in my garage. If you've been around for a while, it used to be our nightstand in our bedroom, and then most recently it's been on our front porch, and we had like 2 chairs up there. But we almost got rid of it, and then we decided we wanted a refrigerator outside, but we didn't want to put it down on the ground. And we were looking at pieces of furniture and what would be able to hold that, and it clicked to me that this was out in the garage, so we definitely wanted to try this first. So Chase is going to go ahead and just give it a fresh coat of paint so it looks nice and new again. When you buy pieces that are like solid wood, you can just keep repainting them and they hold up so well. I found these pieces off Craigslist and they've just been worth every penny. I also decided to add my crystal knobs to this because you guys know that's like what I do lately. It's like if I can add a crystal knob to it, I'm going to, and we had these left over from my IKEA desk knobs furniture project that we did. So I went ahead and just grabbed the 2 extra ones and we put them on here. I think it looks so fun and glam. It'll match or tie in with the clear chairs we have at that dining table out there. So that was just a super cheap, easy, free project that we got to do to create the space. But now we're going to be adding gravel and stones. So the closer you get to our house, the grass just won't grow. We've been here almost 4 years. I've watered it every summer. It just has so much shade that it's not going to grow well. So we've been wanting to work on this space but kept putting it off. This is another space as well. It's basically on the left of the patio and the right of the patio. So we decided we're going to go ahead and buckle down and get some gravel and stones and make it look pretty. So we ran to Lowe's and Home Depot. We also had to pick up Chase's dad's truck. Anytime we need to do a project like this, we have to go borrow his truck. So we're so thankful to his parents. And then anymore, finding supplies is so hard. You can't just go to Lowe's or just go to Home Depot. I feel like every store is getting different items. So we just went from store to store. We actually dropped Savannah off with his mom. So she's there hanging out while we go ahead and get this project done. And we didn't want to take her into all the stores as well. So we're just just going to go ahead and unload it before we start the project. What's so nice when you own a lot of land, you can just drive around on it. I don't know, it just never gets old being able to like drive around in our backyard.
Can't stop thinking about your day and night. Love it when you kiss me, love it when we touch. Every time I'm down, yeah, you make me smile. You're the solution. You are, you are, you are, you are, you are, you are, you are. You are the solution. You are the solution. You are, you are, you are, you are, you are, you are, you are. You are the solution. You are the solution.
Okay, so the rocks we bought were this brand and we got them in white. We did not have a lot of options, so this is the best that I could come up with, and they were around $4 a bag. The stones, those large stones, were about $6, and then this right here I want to say was around $15, and that was to go ahead and line the bottom so weeds don't come through. But the first thing we wanted to do was clear out the area, and he's going to go ahead and get any weeds or grass growing in that area so it doesn't come through. So while Chase is working, I wanted you to see what I'm doing behind the camera. I'm typically hiding somewhere by the fan. I know this fan isn't like the most fashionable or home design look, but I stand here all day while they're like swimming or I'm working on my phone or Chase is working, but you can just see me and the boys are just trying to cool off a little. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and lay down that black cloth, and it's just to help with weeds or glass. You can see Tiger right there. He's our supervisor. He said it was under control, so he walked off. But this was super easy to do, especially the length of it or width was exactly what we needed. And so you just cut it to size. And like I said, it was super easy to do, and if it helps us from like picking weeds for a while, then so be it. We did go ahead and add another layer. We adjusted this one really well to make sure it was up against the house, but this came with so much on the roll, and like I said, they had different prices. It was like $10 to $25 depending on how thick or nice you wanted it to be. So we went ahead and just doubled this up just to be safe because we had so much extra. So I'm really curious to see how much this works. Like I mentioned earlier, these stones were from Lowe's and they were around $6. I feel like they were perfect size for the space. I love doing things in 3. 3 is my favorite number. We're a family of 3. I don't know, I always have 3 girls playing at my house. 3 makes me happy. Now we're gonna go ahead and wet the ground. Our ground here in Oklahoma is so hard. We bought quite a few of these pieces. I want to say around 6 of them, and they were $6 each. I think we bought 7, maybe 7 or 8 of them, and we thought that they would work really well because they have spikes on the bottom and we could hammer them in, but the first one cracked. Like, he only whacked it a few times and it broke, so we were gonna have to go with plan B. But we wanted to go ahead and put the gravel down to make sure we have enough. We live out of town, so we didn't want to go return those, buy something new, come back, put the rock down and not have enough. So we went ahead and went on to this step, but we are going to leave area between the rocks and where the border is going to go so it doesn't mess up, and then we can fill in that space later. So now we're going to go ahead and just cut these bags open and get all the rocks laid. Right here you can see where we left a gap between where the rocks are and where the border is going to go. Once we get that new border up, we can pull more stones. We'll have more bags to fill in that spot, but we didn't want to have to worry about pushing back all those rocks. So now we're going to work on the other side, but I wanted to show you first. We're working hard, and then George is over there passed out. He does this every time he comes outside of our house. I just love that he loves to like sunbathe his little belly. But we have to get back to work, so Chase is going to just go back again and start getting up all the loose rocks and grass and weeds just to make sure it's kind of nice and fresh before we lay down the black tarp again. We also added a few leftover stones just right here in front of the storage bin because I'm in here multiple times a day and I didn't want to have to lean over to open it up or to put my feet on rocks, and so we just reused these. They're about $2 from Lowe's. Now we're going to weatherproof and hang this sign. So where it was originally, it was under the patio covering, so I wasn't worried about it. But now I'm wanting to hang it above Chase's grill, and this part isn't covered, so I know it could get windy or wet, so I just want to make sure it's protected. And then we also bought these brick hangers to try out. We were super impressed with them. We didn't know if we'd like it, but we didn't want to have to drill into our bricks, so we went with this option. And then our outside water sill that we like to use is this Thompson's water sill. It only requires one coat. It's super affordable and it lasts forever, so definitely look into that if you're needing to seal something that's going to be outdoors.
I'm looking outside my window. I try to see where my luck goes.
This has been hanging up outside, so I feel like there's a lot of dust and even a little bit of pollen on it. So anytime before you paint or seal something, definitely make sure just to wipe it down so it's like nice and clean before you put anything wet on it.
A pretty guy with a halo, but who am I?
I try to always elevate my projects from the grass, or I put a sheet down. Otherwise, when you're putting something on it, the grass will stick and dry to it, so just be careful. I had those stones out there, so I went ahead and just grabbed them. And then just real quickly, I'm taking a paintbrush and that sealer, and I'm just wiping it all over. Like I said, it just takes one coat. It does say to wait 24 hours to let it dry, but I'm like super impatient, so I let it sit out there for an hour or two, and then I went ahead and let Chase hang it because I thought, it'll dry. It's going to be on the outside of the house. So we went ahead and hung it, so you're about to see that just in a few seconds.
So understand what we could do around the world, say to Peru. We lie in bed till it's PM, eating breakfast when it's dark again. Let us be partners in crime. You and me.
Now we're moving on to plan B with the edging. I liked this one so much better. It was there originally, we just didn't notice it. I like it better because it's more low profile and it's also black. So what you do is you just lay it out, and then it comes with stakes and you stake it into the ground. So it's just like a stake going in and not the whole actual border. It doesn't come with very many stakes, so definitely grab an extra pack like we did so you have plenty. And like I said, this was super easy to do, and we have hard ground or hard grass. So you can just see we would line it up. Now we didn't put a stake in every hole, but every 3 to 4 to 5 he'd go ahead and stake it down, and it turned out so well. We were so happy with it. So if you're looking for some type of border, definitely check this one out. We went ahead and bought one more bag of rocks while we were out, and it was the perfect amount because it was just enough to go ahead and fill in between the rocks we currently had and then the new border. It was just enough to do both sides of our house, so we ended up using 11 bags just in case you're curious. And there was a few parts that the black was hanging out, so Chase just took a razor blade and went ahead and cut those off. But we are so happy with how this turned out. No more dead grass. There's still a little bit of part I have to water from us digging up to get there, but I just feel like it looks so much better, so much cleaner. I don't know, those finishing touches just make a huge difference.
And I know the life you're living isn't that fulfilling. Let me help you out. Lay your love on me.
Okay, a sweet subscriber had sent me this sign. I shared it over on the vlog channel, and I've been trying to find the perfect spot for it. I went ahead and decided to use, these are like knockoff command strips. They came with something else I had ordered, so I didn't know how well they'd hold up. So you're gonna see I put a ton on here. If it was actual command strips, I don't think you would need this many, but this wasn't actually made to hang pictures. It was more to fix cords on a ground. But I went ahead and used them, and so far it's been been, you know, a few days. It's probably getting close to a week, and it's holding up really well. So I was glad I did this, but I'm just sticking them on, and then you're gonna see me peel that top layer off, and then I'm just gonna go over and stick it onto my brick. Once again, we just didn't want to drill a hole into our brick to hang a sign, just in case we're not here forever, or if I like to decorate or rearrange, because you guys know me, I like to do that. So I hated to put like holes into the brick.
No, what you planned out, everything that you built up isn't what you want.
If you can tell by my look, it had been a long, hot day. So none of this was hard. It was just really hot and humid and just required a lot of work. So my hair is up, it's sweaty, it's nasty. But you can see I'm just pushing that sign on there. I even kind of like punch it and knock it just to make sure it's getting really tight into the brick. But I just feel like it completed the space. I needed something up there, and I love the sign, life is better on the patio, because that is so true for us right now. We've never spent much time on this patio, and now I feel like we're spending the majority of our days. I wake up and go straight out there. We're out there until about 11:30 at night. We are just loving this space so much. So thank you so much to the subscriber that sent us this sign. It was so sweet of you. She actually sent us toppers for our wood post flower pots that we hang our lighting from as well. I never knew that was a thing, but it completes the look so much. So if you guys are doing that project, definitely check out that link down below. Okay, and we also decided to add a refrigerator out here, so I'm going to go ahead and start filling it up. The kids just run in and out so much that it lets in a lot of flies. It also lets in a lot of hot air and a lot of cold air out, which runs up our bill, but I just like the kids being able to stay outside. They're wet from swimming, so I want to thank New Air for sending us this refrigerator. It's not sponsored, but they did send this product to us for free to try out, and we are loving it, having it outside. I know they make like really large refrigerators, but I just wanted something small just for a few drinks out there, and it has been perfect, and we're enjoying it so much. You can see Savannah even got involved. She was so excited to have her own little mini fridge outside, and I feel like it held so much and just what we needed. We had bottled waters, we had Coke, we had Pepsi, we had Capri Suns, we had juices, we had all sorts of stuff, and it fit in there perfectly. I can't wait to use this on the 4th of July when family comes over. So I just want to thank New Air again. They did give me a coupon code for you guys, so if you use Ashley and Chase at checkout, it's going to get you a discount off. So definitely use that at checkout, and you can find their link down below in my description box. And just like that, phase 2 is complete. I thought I loved phase 1, but it just does not do justice to phase 2. We thought we were living out here before, and now we just cannot get ourselves off this back patio. I'm going to show you guys a ton of clips so you can see what it turned out. Definitely, if you're new, do not forget to go back and watch that first phase so you guys can see all the details and pricing. But it's just amazing what some elbow grease and just work can do in a space. We are so pleased with this. It feels like we have a whole nother room in our house, and we just all love it so much. So here's a few clips for you guys to check out. Definitely let me know down below in the description box which area you like best. So one tip that I always try to share with you guys, because I feel like there's always somebody new, but don't wait for your dream house. Definitely make your home now your dream home. That doesn't mean that one day you won't move out of it and get another dream home and get something even better. But while you're in your home, there is no reason why it can't be your dream home. Definitely figure out the areas that you want to work on and improve. Figure out what makes that dream home so special and put it into the house you have now. I just feel like we're all in this waiting game instead of just like make it happen today. Figure out what you can do today to make your house just a little more special. I also wanted to share with you guys some evening clips, and I'm not gonna lie, these clips do not do it justice. It is absolutely so gorgeous and so relaxing in the evenings. Like I said, we're just living out here. I'm about to show you some clips of us just hanging out and watching a family movie. We like to eat popcorn. I don't know, we're just loving this space. But thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Definitely give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Let me know if you're loving all these like DIY and home makeovers, if I should keep doing them, because I'm happy to keep recreating spaces inside and outside of my home. But I just love you guys so much. So thank you so much just for watching and supporting me. I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.